I'm just confused. Explain something to me. I have to work? Me? This face? This face has to... Hi, how are you? How can I help you today? What? What? You're delusional. You're crazy. Sure.
Let me just say, if the first thing that you decide to do in what looks like a professional event is drop it low, you probably need to stay in corporate America a little longer. You would think that working at the office all day would cut out some of this energy, but it only seems to breed more of this modern women behavior. I give you credit though, the brows are nice. Brows are nice, I like that.
Why aren't men making the first move anymore? Like, that's literally your job. That's your responsibility to show that initial interest. That's your job to go get that girl's number, to go tell her that you're interested. You're afraid of getting rejected? Be a man, grow up.
Can we have a serious conversation about the LBHs, passport bros, like whatever you want to call them? I just don't understand how the most basic level men can leave America, travel to these other countries, and just pull absolute tens, like the hottest girls that you will ever see. And these men, like men that we wouldn't even look twice at, are just pulling them and convincing them to date them. Like, I truly don't understand it. Can someone please explain to me how this is happening and how these men are able to get away with it? Also, like, how can we stop this? It's out of control, and it's getting to a point where it needs to be stopped.
I think we're all aware now. We're very much aware, if not from a friend, your own personal experience, socials, whatever. Like, the men are very clear on this. They don't want a youth thing. They're very clear, like very plain and very clear. Very plain and very clear, yeah? We've just recently had a situation, yeah, with the whole Mo Gilligan thing. Yeah, the man is telling you categorically, I don't want no baby, I don't want to have no children. You still get pregnant, have the child, and then you're moving a certain way, we don't want to minor you. Do you know what? It gets to a point you just go, like Lee says, that if you want to have it, you know you're doing this thing on your own.
And I'm back, y'all, with the top 5 things I've learned this week on how not to be a pick-me online and in real life. Number 1, let's go. If you do not have a BBL, you are in fact insecure. Did you know you could die from working out? According to ladies on TikTok, they go get BBLs because the gym and working out is a very, very, very dangerous thing, and you should stop it immediately. 2, if a man approaches you and you don't have on makeup and a lace front and your nails aren't done, he in fact likes ugly girls. So you should not give him any of your time, because why would he approach you in such a state? How disgusting. Ugh. Number 3, if you are sad, and lonely, and depressed, it is okay to sleep with 4 different men in 1 week, especially if that cat is whack and they're not calling back. Number 4, because men are mind readers, it's clear if they can't plan a proper date to your favorite place, which they should know by heart even though they don't even know you yet, then they are not good leaders and you should ignore them for the rest of their lives. And you guys know I always save the best for last. Number 5, F those homosocial men. If a man hangs out with his friends too much, it is now called being a homosocial. In other words, you're gay.
This is for all the conservative men out there. I just want to let you know that there are still women who want a man who will lead and take control in a relationship. And we're not all feminist freaks who think that they shouldn't have a man who takes care of them and opens their door, and chivalry is not dead. So I just want y'all to know that like, we're still out here. I just want y'all to know we're still out here. So don't lose hope.
Think fast on a random girl. What the It's not funny. I had dinner here all day.
Babe, you told me that.
I had my phone in my pocket.
No, you told me that.
Give me a flow. Give me a flow. It wasn't nice.
Men are just such simple creatures, because I was telling this man what I was upset about, and I was like, yeah, it sucks, but what you gonna do? And he said, I think I'm gonna watch some football, probably go out later. Okay, yeah, nope, that's exactly.
If I was with a guy, I couldn't be with a masculine man because I'm masculine. I would really want him to be feminine. I would want him to shut the fuck up and cook and clean.
Okay, I've been obsessed with Pop the Balloon recently, and I just love watching reality TV shows and all shows like that because it really fuels my anthropology skills. And as an outside sociologist, I also really enjoy people watching, so it just puts all of those great skills together. And the 50-50 combo constantly comes up. The first question they ask, instead of asking what's their career, how do they show love, how do they resolve conflict, I usually stay quiet when it comes to that conversation because a lot of women just want, a father and not like a partner. Because yeah, I think the goal is to ensure that you can live off of one person's salary and comfortably, like without sacrificing my quality of life. However, why would I bargain against myself just off of making sure I don't have to pay any money? I'm going to contribute because I too have money. Like if my man can get us a 2-bedroom, but with my income included, comfortably, we can get a 4. Why will we not put our heads together? I don't know. Just hate that, the trad wife thing has gone way too far. And I understand where it came from in the Black community. Black women have felt like they've had to support themselves and their community and have little to show for it. However, we have swung way too far to the other side. Again, when you're a boss ass who has your own motion, you're only looking for someone to come and sprinkle the garnishings on top. We live in a 3-story brownstone with a huge backyard because we both contribute. And of course, I would have been comfortable on just my man's salary, but I want a bigger house. I want more, so I'm going to contribute. I don't understand why that is such a crazy concept. I think people are talking from a scarcity mindset and are just so fixated on how they're going to pay their bills versus being like, how can 2 heads come together and give me even more than what I've dreamed of, I'm not saying that you cannot desire someone who takes care of you, because my man do take care of me. But I think this hyper fixation on someone to pay your bills when quite frankly, everyone is struggling to pay their own singular bill is, not in touch with reality.
And this is the exact mindset that I be talking about. And that's why I say a lot of these modern women are losers. They have a loser mentality. They be thinking so short-sighted instead of saying, I know I'm going to want to at some point, we're going to want to have children at some point in time. So how can we really hit it for however long we want, right? You take your vacations or whatever, but how can we really hit it? And so when I go out, we don't miss a beat. Instead of, I'm just going to keep on working, doing my thing, spending my money how I want to spend it. And I'm just going to use this salary to pay all the other bills. No long-term strategy at all.
We don't want men to approach us. You're right. We don't want you coming up to us, telling us how beautiful we are and how interested you are in us. We absolutely don't want it. That's not true. On my last video, ladies, we have men over there saying that we don't want compliments from them and we don't want them to come up to us and initiate conversation or ask us out on dates or any of that. I don't think that that's true. Maybe you do, but I don't. I think we should create a list under this video that helps men understand the ways in which we would like for them to approach us and express their interest in us. Because I don't think we've ever said, don't come and talk to us. I think we said some of the ways that you do it are an immediate turnoff.
Dude in the comments said, watch this video and just remember to renew my passport. A list, I ain't gonna lie to you, a list is crazy.
The men are like, I just don't feel like you're putting in any effort. And the effort is like sex within the first 7 days of meeting them.
Or, hear me out, maybe they could just mean, why am I putting in $500, $600, $700 and having to buy you all of this stuff, but you can't even take me out to dinner? You can't even buy me anything. Like, you don't really show that much appreciation. Maybe it's that.
Since I must post, I will post this. Y'all childless men, They'll be looking real nice. Real nice. Real nice. Real nice. Nice little priorities that you know what I'm saying, protected yourself so that you didn't have no kids before you was ready. I like that. I like that. However, I have four. I will be an empty nester in 10 years. I am not willing to start over. And some might say I might be blocking my blessing. It might be a nice man that's willing to take care of these 4 kids and add another one and take care of that one. And that's cool. But I cannot risk the chances of that man getting me pregnant and I have 5 kids and he did. I can't take the chance.
That dude in the comments said we're not checking for y'all.
Hold on, so let me get this straight. You get on TikTok talking about don't date weak men because you went on a bar date with a man. You sat on the right side of the man. Another man comes into the bar. He asks you what you doing at the bar. You then proceed to have a conversation with this said man who is not the man that you went to the bar with. You then look over at said man you supposed to be at the bar with. He tells you that he's going to go to the car and smoke. You say that the dating pool has piss in it and that you shouldn't date weak men, but you don't realize you're friendly. That asking you your favorite salads and how frequently you come here and all that is not questions that you should have ever answered. And if you had any respect for the man that you was even dealing with, you should have turned your head and silenced that. But you didn't. You wanted to have that conversation. And why would that man cause a problem in that establishment? He's just going to go to the car, smoke. And y'all say y'all on a date, right? So he really don't owe you no loyalty. You don't owe him no loyalty. So why would he cause a scene? But at the end of the day, that was disrespectful of you to sit up there and have a whole conversation with him. And you know he's advancing and he's trying to get at you. But the dating pool is weak, or the dating pool has piss in it because of weak men. You boy.
If you don't know what he's talking about, essentially what happened is a woman went out on a date. She went out on a date with a man. They were in a bar. Some dude came up talking to her who was not the date. And she was like, "Ooh, why is he talking to me?" And all that other nonsense. So her date peeps that. And he was like, "What the heck is she doing?" He gets up and he's like, "Hey, I'm about to go smoke." And he was upset that she kept on entertaining this dude, right? With him sitting right there. So he says, "I'm going to go smoke." I said in that video, that should have been her clue to walk out. But she didn't. She stayed in there talking to that man. And when her date came back in, giving her the business, she got an attitude. "No, ma'am. How come y'all's communication is great with your friends, but when it comes to relationships, y'all forget what the heck y'all supposed to be doing? How come y'all be asking for effective communication, but when it comes time to do what you're supposed to be doing and reading body language, reading the vibe, y'all miss all of it?" I'll say it again. You should have got your silly behind up when that man walked out and said, "Yeah, you know, my date's leaving, so I guess I gotta leave too. You have a great night, sir." But y'all so brain dead sometimes that y'all can't figure out when it's time to get off that train.
All right, y'all, this coffee date, first date situation has me in a chokehold, baby. I can't move on because I have a serious question. I've seen multiple comments where women feel like coffee date equals low effort. And the first date is supposed to impress you. It's supposed to knock your socks off. I thought that when a man did too much at first, that was love bombing. Okay, even if we move past that, let's say the man is willing to go above and beyond on the first date, second date, third date. How does he continue to impress you? Where do you go from there? And if he's taking you to really nice experiences for y'all's first date, what are you gonna do on special occasions like your anniversary and birthdays? Do y'all see how this is setting the men up for failure because they will never be able to outdo your expectation? Am I tripping? And I'm just trying to figure out, if the first date purpose is to get to know each other, why does it have to be such an impressive experience? No, you can't take me to McDonald's. No, you can't have me walking around in the woods looking crazy, of course. But why can't we sit down and have a conversation over ice cream, smoothies, coffee, matcha? I need some answers.
This is spot on with the train of thought. Spot on. This is what men are thinking about. And this is why men are staying single. They're saying, it's not that you're not beautiful. It's not that I don't appreciate your education and all the things that you're doing. You want to be a boss, babe? Go do that. But at some point in time, it's got to end. When are we going to stop this boss and I'm a simp? When are we going to just be friends? When are we going to just hang out, love each other like we used to, be normal, a normal couple like we used to? When are we going to go back to that?
It has become very apparent that in the year 2025, feminism has gone a little off the rails. At least in the West anyway. But also, I don't think you have a man in your life. So what's stressing you, sis? What's wrong? Because we don't look happy. The girlies that are making these videos never look happy. You look miserable. I immediately started laughing because the first comment says, "Aw, feel better soon." And truly, because you are obviously mentally unwell. So I really do hope that you feel better soon. And a nephew. And if somebody looked at my nephew and said, "You don't deserve to be happy because you're a man," my fight or flight is going to kick in. And I can't fly.
If there was a men's only gym, would you guys go? Or would you still choose to come to the normal gyms?
They were going to a men's only gym. It's just that women with issues decided to come in there bringing their drama, and then it became a drama-filled gym, and so they had to start another one to try to escape it, and women came into that one too.
If you are a single woman over the age of 25, you have got to stop caring about men's hairlines. 85% of men are going to experience hair loss in their lifetime, so you better get used to it because none of us are getting any younger. For some reason, people are pretty body positive when it comes to women, saying that we shouldn't have to get Botox, fillers, etc. as part of the natural anti-aging process, but I keep seeing people saying that a man fixing his hairline is part of just standard care. But just like women's wrinkles, a man losing hair is a natural part of aging. If you want to do Botox, fillers, or whatever, that's 100% your choice, but no one should feel pressured into it as an expected part of taking care of yourself as you age, and the same should go for hair transplants. Most of the celebrities you see with good hairlines are either getting major surgical hair transplants or are taking prescription medications. A woman expecting a guy to do that is like a guy going into the dating world expecting all women to get boob jobs. I think a lot of women set their standards for hotness when they're in college, and I get that it's really tough to adjust them as you age. But if you believe that women should be given grace as they age, then so should men.
My fiance was about to leave the house. I said, "Where are you going, baby?" He said, "I gotta go run a few errands." I said, "Oh, okay, let me get you something." So here I am, I'm dressed. I got Don Julio in a cup. It's a little blue juice mixed with it. I was even nice enough to bring him out a cup of Don Julio straight. I bought a little chaser in case he needed it. And here I am with him while he runs his errands. I'm in the passenger seat and we end up going to brunch. We're about to go to this flower place, and yeah, so good thing I came because he would have forgot to go to brunch and go get to the flowers and stuff. What better errands to run than with me? So ladies, if your man has errands or something to run, just get in the passenger seat. Make sure you have a drink. Make sure you keep this and run errands.
So it sounds like you're actually wanting to spend time around the man. You're actually showing the man that you like him. And he bought you flowers for actually liking him. And he took you out to brunch because he wanted to hang out with you, because you seem like you actually like him. What a concept. Only the modern women could grasp that.
It is so hard being a single girl. Because when I tell you as a Christian, excuse you, as a Christian single girl, the amount of temptation that you go through. This is why I probably need to get off the internet, because oh my gosh. These men are so fine. But like, the Lord wants me to be single. He wants me to enjoy the single season. And I do. But it's really hard.
I think honestly and truly, if you have your mind right and you're willing to discipline yourself and actually kind of, I don't want to say follow orders, but you need to be willing to cooperate, because that's what you're going to be doing in a relationship. You're going to be following, listening, understanding, looking for guidance, accepting the guidance, looking for help, accepting the help, In the relationship, it's not about you. It's not about you. So at some point in time, while the man is giving to you, you're going to have to give back to the man. That's just the way it goes. Too many times you have modern women out there taking, and giving nothing back. It is not about you. You can be in a relationship. There's a lot of good looking dudes out there. You said it. I know it's hard for you. I get it. I'm telling you, I definitely get it. But it don't have to be that way. As long as you find somebody, y'all are going in the same direction, y'all agree, y'all working together, keep your attitude in check, that discipline, that meekness, that humility needs to come to the forefront, that communication needs to come to the forefront, and it needs to stay at the forefront.
Men don't like women. Men like how? How, you ask? The same way you like money, but you don't like to go to work. Yeah.
A woman in the comments said, I don't even think they like that anymore. No, it's just that you're not worth the headache.
And I don't know about y'all, but when I say who gonna be the boys, I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm actually being so serious, and I'm actually highly concerned. Because I don't know if y'all noticed, most women love to be women. Like, you hear it all the time. I love being a girl. I love being a woman. We love it. We love being in our feminine energy. For the right person, we love to be submissive. For the right person, we do like being told what to do. Like, we love it. We love keeping ourselves up. We love dressing up. We love taking care of people. We love being nurturing. Like, women love to be women. We love our feminine energy. Rather, men, there was a point where men found purpose in their responsibility as men. They found purpose in providing, in leading, in being a man. And now I think it's less purpose that they feel from it and more pressure. And I don't know where that disconnect came from. I don't know. But it's like y'all literally, like, men hate being men now. Y'all literally don't want to be men. Like, y'all don't want any of the responsibility that comes with being a man and holding masculine energy. Like, you guys don't want to lead. You don't want to protect. You don't want to plan dates. You don't want to, like, who's going to be the boys?
You guys continue to slip in the caveat of, for the right. I will be feminine. I will act like a good woman for the right, in the right, under the right. I will do what I'm supposed to do if. I will act like I'm supposed to act when. There's always a caveat. With a man, it's got to be straight. It's how you act all the time. Be a man. But me, I can decide whether I want to be a woman today or not. How lovely.
My dad's house is the epitome of a divorced man that lives alone, because why the f is there only wing sauce, jelly, whatever that is, eggs that expired in November of last year. I don't even know what that is. That and ice cream.
And you know he don't have nobody in his house nagging him.
Oh yeah? Where do you see this ass? Keep the compliments coming. Keep them coming.
I have 2 first dates today, and I thought I would bring you along on both of them as much as I can. I recently got on Bumble, and so because I'm new on the app, I have a lot of matches right now. I have a really busy week, and today was like my main free day. Ended up setting up dates with 2 guys in the same day. One is a coffee date, and the other is drinks later. Both of the dates are downtown Salt Lake City, which is awesome because that's where I live. So I can just walk to each of my dates. I'm really excited about both of them, and I'll update you after each date. I literally just walked in the door from my date, and it was really good. It was very good. It was just a quick, like, 45-minute coffee date. It was very good. He was very, very attractive. Good chemistry. I think I really didn't want the date to end. I felt like we could have talked for hours. On the date, he was like, I would really like to see you again and plan another date very soon. And I think when he said it, he realized that put a lot of pressure on me, right? He's like, you don't have to answer right now, and I was like, no, I'll answer right now. Yes, I would like to go on another date with you. So that was a really good first date. Okay, I am heading to date number 2. He is from Texas, like me, and he's liberal. I only date liberal men, but to find a Texas man who is liberal, that's a unique combination. And he lives here. So, okay, heading home from date number 2. I had 2 cocktails, so I'm feeling them. It was good. It was very good. Great conversation. Easy to talk to. Of course, we're both from Texas, so it was just like easy. I would go on a second date with him too. I haven't been on that many good first dates lately, so I am pleasantly surprised with both of my dates today. First time for everything. 2 dates in 1 day.
45 minutes is hard to get angry at. 45 minutes, coffee, you get the rest of your night back. If I go at 6, I leave at 6:45. I can be back at the house with some pickup, some takeout at about, realistically, maybe 7:30. I got time to watch a show, chill out. That's a great night. Oh, and I can text her and say, let's set up another date. I'm really not mad at that.
A couple days ago, I uploaded a video talking about how you should date somebody that respects you. Almost got into a fight because this girl that I was seeing took a shot from another guy, and there was so many questions on that post. Well, a lot of people saying nice things, thank you, by the way. But there was a lot of people saying they don't see how it was disrespectful that she took a shot from another guy. So let me explain. You have to understand, like, why most men are at bars. It's so that they could find somebody to... When he came up to her with that shot, I can guarantee you it was not so that they could play checkers together. It was so that he could have sex with her. When she agreed immediately to that shot with him, and they took it together, I bet he was very excited. He was like, oh, this is great. I'm in. Let's go. I'm getting late tonight. So then when he saw her immediately start putting her hands on me and being all touchy-feely, he flipped out. That's why you have to, like, be careful when you're at bars, dude. Like, especially with people that are drunk, everything's heightened, man. It's like they could do anything. They feel like they could do anything that they want. Like, if you don't think that's disrespectful to take a shot that's being offered to you, that's fine. I mean, that's you, but it's not me. Like, I wouldn't want my girl doing that, because I certainly would not do that. If it was reversed and a girl came up to me with a shot for me and her, I would politely refuse, because I'm sitting here with the woman that I'm currently romantically entangled with. Why the f would I do that? Like, bro, come on. Thanks to all the people that have said nice things. I really do appreciate it. And all these new people following me now. That's so nice of you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you.
You're entertaining another dude. And once again, I'd like to point out that there are plenty of women in the comments saying, I'm heated that you actually had to explain yourself. Another woman says he's basically getting the girl you're with a drink. He knew what he was doing. She accepted. She also knew what she was doing. So, yeah, kudos to the women who are, calling out this behavior and holding the lady accountable.
Y'all want to constantly bring up history and your ancestors. Well, I'm here to hit you with a real hard fact. Y'all are not the same. BLK women back in the day were strong women. They moved with purpose. And honey, they moved mountains. They changed laws. They were a solid foundation. And one thing that they did was they loved their men. They loved their children. They fought so hard. Ooh, they had a fierceness in them that nobody could touch. Y'all have taken that type of strength and that type of movement, and y'all have turned it into what we have in 2025. It's not the same. And you are stepping and standing and trying to act like you represent what the BLK woman was years and years and years and years ago. You demolished her. It's all in vain now. It's pathetic.
Nowadays, these modern women got a fierceness to do the wrong thing. They got a fierceness. They got a fierceness to shake their behind. A fierceness to take their clothes off in public and dare a person to say something to them about it.
I
had been dating for a long time, and my mom used to give the best advice. So when I was in my early 30s, I was dating a guy who was maybe like 41, 42, and I was telling her all about him, how he lived in a downtown high-rise apartment, drove a luxury SUV, worked for a professional sports team, and had all, lived in the city, like all these great things. And she just cuts me off and she goes, well, what's wrong with him? And I was like, he just hasn't found somebody yet. And before I could even finish saying it, she started cackling and she was just like, you'll figure it out. And what she meant was, he's 41 and single. He's lived in the same city his entire life. He's gainfully employed, and doesn't own a home. He doesn't have a wife. He doesn't have children. At what point in his 41 years, what's wrong with him? What kind of childlike, boyish Peter Pan tendencies does he have? She knew. And I think about that now every single day as I date men in their 40s.
Somebody in the comments said the pot is calling the kettle black. Yes, it is, my friend. Yes, it is.
And this was also the first guy I've ever cooked for. Up until him, I was living with my mom, and then I moved out to Miami. So I would just make myself eggs and hot dogs. And then we started talking, and I really, really liked him. And he would come over after work, and I wanted to make him feel good and relaxed. So I started cooking. I started off with burgers, then it was pasta. I've made fried rice with shrimp. I've made so much, okay? And then towards the end, sometimes he would be coming after work, and I'd be like, oh, let's cook together, help me cut up the onions. And we would drink wine and cook together. And he was like, no girl's ever done this for me, no girl's ever cooked for me. And I was like, aw. And then I also would do his laundry here and there. And he was like, why do you want to do my laundry? I'm so thankful, but why do you want to do it? I'm like, because I want to make your life easier since you work and you have so much going on. And he was like, again, I've never had a girl do this for me. And then when we break up, I was like, you were the only man I've ever cooked for. I genuinely liked you. Why would you do this to me? And he goes, how many times have I helped you cook? We're not married. What? You've helped me cook once or twice, and it was you just cutting up onions. And it was a bonding moment for us while we drank wine. I'm never cooking for a man ever again. I'm never pleasing a man ever again. Never doing their laundry. This is why you don't do things until you're married, because it doesn't matter, because when you get broken up with, they're going to shove all that in your face. So what that you did this for me. And I'm not saying it in a fact of oh, I did this for you, so you owe me. No, I'm saying it in a sense of I liked you so much, I was willing to do stuff for you that people do in marriages, and you took that for granted.
I mean, I feel like you kind of bought it up and he responded to it. But I do get what you're saying. I definitely do get what you're saying. Like you said, essentially what you're saying is, I don't do this for anybody, but the fact that I was doing it for you means I really care about you. So why did it have to go down like this? Really nobody ever knows. I think, and there's men in the comments that are supporting her, giving her emotional support. So when y'all say that men don't show empathy, that's a flat out lie. They do. Hey man, don't let this change you. Don't let this hurt you. Or basically don't let this, drag you all the way down. Keep on fighting. And I would encourage you to, if you have parents, if you have somebody around you that's a man, take this experience and what you've learned, because that's important. But then also the next time you run across a guy, you use your network around you to say, hey, this is what I noticed. And you don't have to be on the lookout for everything. You don't have to be on the lookout for everything, but you just kind of notice and you pay attention because you don't want to get hurt again. You don't want to go through the same time-wasting strategies again. And some of this stuff in relationships is inevitable. You're not going to get away from that or around that. In relationships, people just say stuff sometimes. They do stuff sometimes that they know they shouldn't have said, and they hurt you. It's a problem when it becomes consistent. It's an issue when they start doing it and they just don't care, right? And maybe it's a mistake in some of these instances, but the mistake is happening all too often to where it becomes the rule rather than the exception, that's when you need to start paying more attention to it, to the point of saying, hey man, we're gonna have to go ahead and part ways, right? But like some men in the comments said, I don't know what he had going on. You're just kind of taking your word for it. Maybe he could have acted better, he could have done better. But if you guys are young, which it looks like you are, that's really honestly and truly a part of growth. I would take that and say, okay, in my next relationship, I'm looking for X, Y, and Z. And just realized she has one of those air fresheners in your car. My wife just bought me one of those. It smells pretty good. You have good style.
We're told that men should be providers, but being a provider doesn't mean just being a wallet. If we actually respect men as human beings, then we have to admit that the most important thing they provide isn't money, but emotional support. Presence, love, and care are what actually sustain relationships, and we should be celebrating those things in men, not how much money they make. Financial support is a bonus, but the real foundation of love is emotional support.
My boyfriend and I are fighting right now, and I want to talk about it to see if I'm the crazy one. So the other day we were watching TikTok together on my account, and there was this trend coming out that I want to do with him where you record your boyfriend's For You page on TikTok. And nothing came up, like nothing crazy came up for him. Like it was all sports stuff or like science stuff, whatever. But this girl came up on his social media and he was like, oh, like that's my friend. Like I know her. And he like followed her immediately, whatever, which is no big deal. I told him like, it's okay for you to follow other women or friends. Like I don't really care about this stuff. But now the problem that I was having is that him and I have gotten into major fights about this before, where he will not follow me on TikTok or Instagram or any type of social media whatsoever. And I told him during this last argument, I told him that this bothers me because you're willing to follow, these other people, these women, that this girl that he followed, he hasn't talked to her in like 7 years. So I was like, oh, like you're willing to follow, these random girls that you supposedly know, but you can't even follow like your girlfriend, someone that you're saying that, you want to marry, you want to spend the rest of your life with. And to his response, he was just focused on the part that I said, like, oh, these random girls. He was like, oh, they're not random. Like, I know them. They're my coworkers. They're my friends. All that stuff. They're not random. And I was like, okay, well, that's not the problem. Like, the problem is that you don't even follow your significant other. Like, you don't even support your significant other on social media. And he was like, oh, like, you just want one extra like, one extra view. Is that the problem? And I was just saying, like, no, that's also not the problem. Like, I'm not saying that you need to follow me. I'm just saying, like, it's weird to me how you will follow these other people, but when it comes to following your girlfriend that you live with, that you always say you want to marry, that you say you want to have kids with, when it comes to following that person, it's a problem. Like it's becoming an issue. And I do want to reiterate, like, it's okay that he doesn't follow me on social media. Like, I'm 100% okay with that, or I guess I've learned to be okay with that. Because, okay, if you don't want to follow me, I'm not going to force you to do that. I'm not going to force you to support my I'm not going to support you. I'm not going to force you to watch my content. Like, that's completely fine, But the problem that I keep trying to explain to him is, like, you clearly, want to openly support all these other all these other females. What is the problem with your significant other stuff? Why is there an issue when it's brought up? And why are you willing to get rid of all of your social media because your significant other is bringing it up? I don't know, that's weird to me, and I don't know if I'm just like overreacting or not.
So what was the problem that you said that you had with him? 7-minute haul she's got going on here. You're mad because he's looking at other women. But you got a lot going on here. Blah, blah, blah. Gotta show you behind again. I don't even know what you're doing right now, to be honest. Here it is again, showing you're behind online. You're worried about him looking at other women. Oh, there it is again. Can we do it one more time? Bingo. They're doing it again. Sheen. And essentially what this is telling me is that you were looking for this type of stuff. You just kept on looking for it. You had no thought of buying anything that didn't show off what you got going on. Again. What do we got here? Oh, you got shoes. Those are cute, kinda. Nice boots. What do we got going on here? Can't put a shirt on, but seems like you don't like him looking at other women. Oh, again. Congratulations on the gains, by the way. But yeah. Guy in the comments says, well, there's a dude in the comments talking about her, or just kind of admiring her beauty. So I mean, gotta kind of wonder how he feels about that. Oh, here we are again. Got a guy in the comments here putting some fire emojis. So kind of gotta wonder how he feels about that. And this is you specifically trying to poke your behind out. But please continue to tell us about the problems that you have with your man following other people and giving other people attention. And I went back and viewed the video, and she talked about why is it a problem that you want to follow and support. We don't even know if he's supporting these women. He might just be following them. Oh man, wow, how's it going? Nice to see you. I've done that, and I don't ever even see him. I don't even be on social media like that. You're just like, oh man, I know them. Follow. And that's really about the extent of it. Have you ever thought also that maybe he has seen your content before and he doesn't want to see it come across his page? So then that becomes an argument, because once again, we just saw that you don't know how to keep your behind off of the internet. You have to show everything for everybody. You think that might be an issue? But of course, it's going to be a him problem, something that is a deficiency in him. And all of the women in the comments are not even going to suggest that maybe, just maybe, there might be a rift that has been created on your end to where he would rather look elsewhere or do something else, or maybe not pay so much attention to what you got going on. Why doesn't he support me? Why would I support my woman showing her behind on the internet? Why would I support that?
So my husband and I frequently get into arguments over him incorrectly estimating times, like saying, oh, I'll call you back in 5 minutes when I don't hear from him in 2 hours, or, oh yeah, I'll be home at 5 p.m. when he's really not home until 9 p.m. And so just the other day, we got into another one of these arguments where it was 5 o'clock, which is the time a lot of people are wrapping up their day. And I call and I say, oh, do you have any idea when you're going to be home tonight? And he says, I'm not going to give you a time because I don't know. And I say, well, come on, that's like not fair. I'm trying to plan dinner. Like, just give me your best estimate. Nope, I'm not going to give you an estimate because I have no idea. And I'm like, it's 5 p.m. Like, this is when people wrap up their day. You have to have some kind of idea. Nope, not going to give you time. And I was like, okay, well, then I'm not even going to bother talking to you. And I hang up on him. Today, I decide it would be nice to have Thai food for dinner. So I text him, I'm like, hey, would you want to pick up Thai on your way home? He's like, yeah, sounds great. I'm in the mood for Thai too. Awesome. And so I text him and I'm like, well, I'm not going to ask you what time you'll be home because I know you don't want to give me a time. But what time can I expect Thai food? I thought that was pretty sly. And he just responds and he says, you can expect the tie when I get home.
So this is what I mean when I say that women's communication skills are poor. The man says, you know, are you going to be home by 5? He don't come home until 9. Are you going to tell us why he doesn't come home until 9? Are you going to tell us if he's working? Like, what's he doing? Is he out playing basketball? Is he, you know, running around town, running errands? What is it that he's doing? What does his schedule look like? He said you're going to call me back in 5 minutes. You didn't call me back until 2 hours later. You're estimating time wrong. That sounds like a man that gets off the phone and gets busy. And you, honestly, I would guess that you're a stay-at-home mom and you don't really have a lot to do. I'm not even 100% sure you have kids. I need to go check out her profile very quickly. I hope I'm wrong about that, because this is saying immaturity to me. This is saying that you're not asking the right questions and you're not adjusting your schedule to say, so for instance, if this was happening to me, I would say, okay, well, I'm going to order it and I'm going to put yours in the fridge, or okay, what do you want? And go ahead and order it. And then I would say, do you want me to put it in the microwave or do you want me to put it in the fridge? And going about your dinner or going about your day, whatever you're doing, right? They're saying it's about control on his side, but she's trying to put him on her schedule. But he might be having trouble with his schedule because of external factors. There's a woman in the comments that's saying he doesn't talk to his boss that way, or his coworkers that way, or his clients that way. It's just you don't really actually even know that. Yeah, exactly. You don't actually even know that. Maybe I hope there's another video.
The time, a lot of...
Okay, here's another video where she's talking about his car. Here we go.
Car that has one of those self-parking features where you literally push a button and it detects where a parking spot is and it backs the car into the parking spot. And it's like kind of neat, but the one downside is that it takes literally forever. It is like a grandma.
I think I hear kids in the background, so they do have kids. So she's a stay-at-home mom.
Backing into that parking spot. And today we went to the mall and the mall was packed. Like, we had to drive around for a while to even find a parking spot. And then we finally find one and he decides he's gonna use the self-parking feature. And it was like so embarrassing because I was like, dude, you look like you don't know what you're doing. There's like people passing us, like other people looking for a parking spot, and you're like backing into this spot like at 0.25 miles per hour, like this like a freaking snail's pace. Like and he's meanwhile just sitting there, no hands on the steering wheel because it's doing it itself. And I'm like, people are like looking at you. This is awkward.
It don't matter whether it's awkward or not. I paid for this car to do that, and it's about to do that. Woman in the comments here said, this is a genuine question. I have zero interest in bringing negative energy to you or your marriage. Do you ask him where he is after work? Like, where is he going? I wish all the best. You seem like a wonderful person. She responds and says, he's still working. Bingo. He owns a landscaping business. Well, there it is. And frequently gets stuck doing more work, fixing equipment, etc. We share locations and FaceTime regularly. Cheating is not a concern. He's just bad at time management and communication. Well, the communication is he's still working. He's working. In order for y'all to have whatever you have, he's going to have to work. Period. And I've read a little bit more about her profile, and one of the things it says is roasting my husband. So I'm assuming that, it's just just an account for her to kind of poke fun of her husband. She probably don't mean a whole lot by it. It's just, just something for me to vent and maybe people on the internet are kind of taking it too seriously. I could see how people would be like, man, what are you dogging your husband out online for? But I think she probably, in all honesty, is just kind of picking at him a little bit. And even listening to this video, looking at some of the comments where the women are going through her profile, you read these and they talk about a woman's intuition is never wrong. It definitely is. Even him talking about what he wants to buy his daughter for basically the baby. So the babies, let me turn this off. The babies, they're sitting in the hospital and he's saying, you know, the baby should have like a stuffed animal of some sort to leave the hospital with. What are we going to buy the child? We're going to buy it a snake? We're going to buy it a dog? What are we going to buy it? Right? And a woman in the comments said, sorry, but does he always not wear his wedding ring? And she was like, no, he never really wears it, hardly ever. Well, if he's got a landscaping business, it makes sense. In my opinion, you're working around equipment like that, it's easy for that thing to get stuck in anything and rip your hand off. And landscaping, tell me you don't know what's going on outside the house without telling me you don't know what's going on outside the house. Another one says, this is what he looks like. You're really putting in charity work. Y'all not married. Y'all sitting at the house bitter. Woman says, girly, he resents you even here. And here's why I say women's intuition is terrible. It literally is wrong by 50% of the time. She says, this is what he says. I have to get approval from you first is dripping with disdain. Are you an author? Okay, J.K. Rowling. On the day of your daughter's birth, let that sink in. Please choose yourself and your children. Okay. I mean, relax. Go out to eat. Order in. Take it easy. Watch a movie. Look at some Netflix. But please, try to get some of that bitterness up out of your heart.